let's say you have a huge file, right? With that huge file, after it gets like to 400, 500 lines, it's gonna take you time to find something that you want to change. And if you're gonna change it in many places, you have to change every single one of it. My opinion, it will be like install SaaS, learn it, and go for it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Tech Talk with Rishi, the podcast that helps you to develop your knowledge and career. Today our guest is Michael Andreuzza. He is a Spanish/Italian self-taught web developer from the UK. He specializes in UI and UX design using HTML5 and CSS3. Hi Michael.
Hey Rishi, how's it going?
Happy to have you, man.
Same, thank you very much. Thank you too.
Can you pronounce your last name?
Michael Andreuzza.
Michael Andreuzza.
Yes, there you go.
Great. So you are a web developer, and you told me you've been working on various tools, including VS Code and brackets.
Yeah, I have been working with VS Code and so on, and brackets, but what would you like to know about it?
I would like to know about your experience with both editors, because from my side I only know VS Code, I do not know brackets.
Alright.
How it was.
Okay, well, we can start with VS Code if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, well, my opinion is like that VS Code is a bit more for big projects and so on, because it's more complex to use than brackets, and you know, it has much more extensions, then the layout is so different. For example, I normally use brackets for like my main editor to go, because it's more easy to use. It's more like clean. I don't know if you have seen it. Have you seen it?
I seen it from a friend. From what I understand is, once you type the code, the change appear in another tab. You can see it in real time.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's like a live preview, you could say. You know, let's be honest, it's just amazing. It's perfect to work with it. And now, like VS Code has it also, but it's not the same because you have to just press Control Shift L, I think it was like that. But it's just, you know, it's just another tool. As I want to say, you can just open your browser and navigate to your file.
Nice. I might find myself trying bracket as well, because from oftentimes I do simple projects on VS Code, which is good, but it could be easier with bracket, especially with a live preview.
Definitely. For example, if let's say if you don't like to be bothered by many things, many buttons around you, you know, like VS Code has, it might be your routine a bit tedious, because you know, if you it's just depending on the personality also about the editor.
And is it free? Because I know VS Code is free. It's free.
Yes, absolutely. It's totally free. It's just totally free just to download it and install it, and then you go for it. It doesn't come with so many extensions though as VS Code. You know, it's very, very simple. Very simple. For example, just now I have like the beautified Prettier and like some web fonts installed, you know, on my brackets. Then you have like 3,000 extensions, we'll say, for VS Code that can make your life easier also. But I call it editor to go is brackets in my opinion.
So that's for the first question. I had another question for you.
Yep, absolutely.
You use Figma. I also use Figma.
I absolutely use it.
So what do you find interesting or good about Figma?
About Figma, there's many things interesting actually. For example, like the fact that you can just sign in and use it, and it's for free, is opening up many doors to people that doesn't have like a income that they can use for, one of these programs for hobbies, for example, or just to change the careers like I am doing it just now. And it's kind of interesting that such a company has done this, because there is many benefits from workers, from for example, from companies, from the self artist that wants to do something, like the designer, like we say, from the perspective of a company, they can have many interns and they can just start to use it without being on the company even, and from home and so on. Of course, there is many that they can do that from home, but I'm talking like without any cost up front, like you can just sign in and do it. And for example, we say like that you can work as a team, so I think it's very powerful, to be honest. The fact also that you can use it in the browser and you can use it as a native. I have both of them, but I use mostly browser because it's just easier. You didn't even have to download nothing for the browser. It's just to go. Maybe there is like a web for the fonts that you have to download, and that's all you gotta do. That's my opinion, to be honest.
I agree. I also use Figma on the browser. I haven't tried on the desktop yet, but I understand that it can work on Windows as well as Linux. Then,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
great. That's great. And it's also free on the browser to start with, but I understand that there's some type of payments involved for certain features.
Yeah, there is
Perhaps.
some features that you cannot use. For example, like you gotta upgrade for like to work with in a team. You gotta do like pay for it. Like there's some I think it's like $12.95, and team is like 30. If you want to be like a big team, it's pretty good, to be honest.
Yes, because obviously if you're collaborating in a team, then it's something big, then you can probably pay for Figma in this case. And
Yeah.
Figma is also compatible with Sketch. Sketch is another similar tool which work only on Linux, but with Figma you can start on the browser itself and create a sketch file and
Yes.
export it there.
Yeah, that's actually very useful, because there is many components that you can just download it or look for it, and they are even for free, many of them. You can just download it and send it to Figma, and then you are ready to use it. It's ready to use. I think it's a very good advantage, to be honest. It's actually a kick-ass app, let's be honest, because you can do much more than you can do with Adobe, and it has been like very good for Figma that they have been many of the sketch users has gone to Figma. I mean, it has many features that, for example, Sketch doesn't have. But what I had heard about, I haven't used Sketch myself. So yeah, I totally recommend it.
I think it is one of the most popular one at this point. There's also Adobe UX or XD, I think.
XD.
XD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't worked with it. Sorry.
It is quite similar to Figma, but it is only on the desktop, the Adobe XD. But Figma is on the browser, so it's more accessible.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's more accessible. The thing is that with Adobe XD, for example, there's many that cannot install it on Windows 7 because it won't
Exactly.
work. That's a pain. For example, I don't have Windows 10. I'm still running Windows 7 because I have a small laptop that I am in love with, and I don't want to take it away from me. So I'm still using it.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
my case also. I have multiple computers. Most of them are Windows 7 and I can't
Yeah.
really install other XD there.
Exactly. I don't know. I think it's priorities. You know, in this case, my computer is my priority than a program. And if I can run Figma for the same thing and free even, so pretty good, pretty good. Yeah.
Great. So you also been working on SAS and
Yes,
CSS.
yes. SAS. SAS is a love-hate relationship with SAS. What can I say? What do you want to know about it?
I also tried SAS. It was okay, but I found it a bit complex to start. But once you get the hang of it, it gets easier.
Yes, absolutely. It does take its time to learn like everything else in life, but just I guess with 1 week you have more than enough time to learn it, you know. And if you just apply maybe 1 to 2 hours and you're ready to go. The thing is that after you have learned, you have many benefits because let's say you have a huge file, right? And with that huge file, after it gets like to 400, 500 lines, it's gonna take you time to find something that you want to change. And if you're gonna change it in many places, you have to change every single one of them. So my opinion, it will be like install SAS, learn it, and go for it. Because I mean, there's nothing to lose. If you want to find, for example, a file on a document, you can just create like small files, like a folder, we say the components, and then you can link those small folders between them. And if you want to change something, you just have to go to that folder and change it. It's so simple as that. So simple as that. It's just like there's a boilerplate for those folders, so you know where to put what. For example, there is like a abstracts, base, components, layouts, and pages. We say that, right? And then it's vendor extensions, which is they say a bit optional. It depends if you're using a framework like we say Bulma, which I have been working about with just now, and it's just to link it, just to import it, and then you just go there and change stuff. Of course, you need a compiler to use it, like npm for example, and it's brought in on Ruby by now, but soon it's gonna be deprecated. You know, this SAS. So, but yeah, totally recommend it to learn SAS if you are going to work with a huge file of CSS.
Cool.
Yeah.
It is really useful for me also. I started it with Gulp. It is similar to npm. So
Yeah.
what I've been using it is to create CSS variables, especially with colors or even other styles. And you can even do classes and inheritance. This is a bit more complex, but you can create a style and its child will be inheriting from that style. There
Yes,
are
absolutely.
there are a lot of programmable functions also. You can have your if statements in that in a way. You can
Uh,
you can program your CSS to be a certain color depending on a condition.
exactly.
So
Uh,
there's a lot of features in SAS. It's a good
yeah.
CSS preprocessor.
Yeah, I think the variables, you know, like you were saying, and that is very worth it to have it. But you just have to put it once, and then if you want to change it, just go to those variables and change it. As you said, you can use the extend, which is a whole style to just use it to avoid the dry code, you know, to use dry code.
Don't repeat yourself in it.
Exactly. I think it's amazing the fact that you can use those. things inside. Figma.io, alright? There is a new framework that has come up. I don't remember in what year was it. It's pretty good. You have to just use the CDN, or you can even use it with SAS, you know. You can download it, and it works with SAS variables. As soon as you install it, you use classes, many classes. Like we'll say, hero dark is dark, alright? Then it's gonna be on a dark color, which in this case is dark blue, we say, alright? It's easy to customize, it's easy to read the modifier, you know. It's based on Flexbox, you know. I think it's very quick to work with. You can make a page in 3 days with it. It's just amazing. I really recommend it for those people that are actually starting with CSS. If they want to have something quick, go to Bulb. Definitely. I think we are gonna see pretty much about it. Yeah. There is even themes that the Net Ninja has done. So go and check them out. Amazing work.
Cool. And you also mentioned Flexbox. It is compatible with Flexbox.
Yeah. Well, this is based on Flexbox actually.
Oh, it's based.
How you call it? This framework is based on Flexbox. You know. So.
Do you know what Flexbox is? Is it a style guide?
Yeah, it's like a layout. You know, like a layout for the website. You know.
It is something responsive to my understanding.
Yeah.
It makes your website responsive on mobile and desktops.
Exactly. Yeah, it is responsive.
I've been familiar to it from Bootstrap. I'm a big Bootstrap user. I use Bootstrap 1, 2, 3 and even 4. Bootstrap, you can give it a try someday.
Yeah, I have used it also, but I rather to use CSS, the straight CSS, to be honest, instead of Bootstrap. It's sometimes it gets a bit like complicated in the fact that you really have to look to make it responsive in some cases.
Yeah, I agree, especially if you're using Figma, you will be having some really unique shapes and designs, and then you have to use your own CSS.
Yeah, I really think that the people should use real CSS, but for those starting, as I said, Bulma is to go for it. Bootstrap is going to be complicated for those to start.
That was all the question.
All right.
I'm going to have to stop now.
That's all right. Well, thank you very much for the podcast.
Thank you, and really happy to have you. And also for your GitHub, you have a GitHub, and
yeah, they can just go to michaelandreuzza.com and.
All right, I will add it in the description of the video.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, man. Have a nice
day.
Thank
you, Rishi. Have a nice one. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.